Good morning to everybody and welcome to Jim's 5 a.m. Club. As you can see this morning we've got a cracker of a sunrise here at Bronte, and I'm just up here on the cliff face. I'll be going for a swim just after this, just waiting for the pool to clear out. There's a number of backpackers down there, so I thought I'd do a vlog before I do my swim this morning. So happy Sunday to everybody, and may you make the most of this beautiful morning. What I want to do today is take you through a book summary, a pretty good book summary. I've just come across a new source of book summaries that I'll happily cycle through as part of my Jim's 5 a.m. Club. So I look forward to coming to you again for many more months to come. For those who are interested, for those who are not, then enjoy your day, and I still enjoy being your friend. So the book summary that I'm going to take you through today is entitled Write It Down, Make It Happen by Henrietta Klauser. So Harriet basically takes us through the science of why writing things down is critical for us to achieve our goals and to enhance our living experience. So Write It Down, Make It Happen by Henrietta Klauser. She kicks off with something very interesting, saying that the internet's biggest problem is how it can easily spread false information. And the reason why it happens is that somebody says something on the internet, and a lot of wild claims are put on the internet because it's uncensored to a great degree. So once the false information is into the mainstream media, somebody picks it up and runs with it without checking the source. It gets cited and reinforced and accepted as being truth, and then you see it over and over repeated on different platforms and different media feeds, and before you know it, it's become fully accepted. Because what's happened is it's been written down. It's been written down, and it's been then passed on and shared. So this whole aspect, this whole thing about writing something down or having it written and then seen written down, is a very, very powerful motivator for people in order to accept things and to act on things. So as I said before, Henrietta Klauser talks about the science behind writing things down and how we can use it to improve our lives or to shape our lives. And as I mentioned before, it can also be used to negatively influence your life. So you need to be careful, you need to be cautious, I guess the message is, in terms of what you accept and what you include in your daily diet of intake. So I guess the first point that she says is that when you write something down, by writing it down you make it specific, you make it clear, and you articulate it. And once you articulate something clearly, it gives you something to focus on. And what the author talks about here is that by writing it down, by writing down your goals, your dreams, your aspirations, by writing them down and clearly articulating them, gaining clarity is the key. What you're basically doing is you're loading them in to your RAS, your reticular activating system. It's also known as the RAS. So the specificity of writing it down makes it crystal clear, and you're able to dwell on it, you're able to look at it, you're able to absorb it, and you're able to make it yours, basically. So you take ownership of it once you write something down. So I've talked about the reticular activating system a number of times before, but it's a very, very powerful scientific concept. So just to briefly dwell on it and touch on it, because I'm not a scientist, I'm not a doctor, I'm not a neurologist. All I can do is just basically describe it in very, very basic form. But I remember hearing about it many years ago by a public speaker known as Lou Tice, who described it very, very aptly many years ago as being the filter that we have on our brain, and it's the filter that sits between our conscious and our subconscious brain. And it's the pathway through which things which are relevant, important, dangerous, things that absolutely need our focus are reflected. So the reticular activating system, according to the author, is a network of neurons, and it's the oldest, believe it or not, it's the oldest part of our brain, which makes it pretty special as well. It's the oldest part of our brain, and as I said before, it's used as the filter that primes our subconscious. So when we say priming our subconscious, means that it activates and it makes relevant the things that pass through our senses, and it brings them to the front of our brain, to the fore of our brain. So the author then indicates, and it makes a lot of sense, that by writing something down, what we're basically doing is we're telling our reticular activating system, we're instructing, we're demanding, we're telling our reticular activating system to focus on this. It's important, so focus on this. Otherwise, the reticular activating system, if it doesn't have something very, very clear to focus on, won't be activated. So it won't act on stuff which is nebulous. So by writing it down, you crystallize it, and by crystallizing it, you're activating the oldest part of your brain, and you're giving it permission to focus on it, to use it, to do something about it. And once your reticular activating system is activated for a particular item or a particular thing, is the best way I describe it, then it redirects everything that comes through your senses and delivers what is loaded into your reticular activating system to the front of your brain, and it makes you aware basically of that thing that you've activated, and your filter has percolated to the surface. The other thing that the author talks about, which is important, is another topic, is that we need to be able to learn how to use rapid writing to uncover our hidden worries and concerns and learn to overcome them. It's something that I've learned today. I didn't know this before, but it's something which is really, really powerful. We often talk how it's bad to focus on negativity, but this author actually says that focusing on negativity and talking it out and expressing it is also very, very powerful. And he says that the Jewish people have a term called kvetching, which basically means to whinge about something and to talk about it and to bring it to the surface and to keep on talking about it until you talk it through and talk it out and get it out of your system. I've never heard about this before, but you know how you got people around you who are always whinging about the same thing over and over and over again? What the author is suggesting is that that's a type of cathartic action that we need to do every now and then, just to get it out of our system, just to bring it to the surface and get it out. So the author says that you can either talk about it and talk it out and be a whinger and a whiner, which is bloody annoying to all the people around you. But the author also says that another technique that you may want to consider and take on board is to incorporate rapid writing into your daily routine. And rapid writing basically is kvetching kvetching, however it's pronounced, I can't really get it right, but is a technique used to empty your mind and get it up and out of your head. So the author talks about this technique and says that basically what you need to do is you need to get a piece of paper and a pen and just write down everything that you got on your mind, regardless of what it is, negative, positive. Just keep on writing until you get it all on the paper and all the thoughts, and then you can sit and think about the problems that you face and empty the negativity, because as you keep on writing, you'll probably start off with all the negative shit, all the crap that you've got happening in your life, and then once you get all that crap out on paper, then what you can do is you can start refocusing and start looking at the solutions to each of those problems, and that way turn it and get a positive sort of outcome happening in your mind, and then you can act on that positivity. Powerful stuff. As I said, I'd never even considered this before, and I would have steered clear of telling or recommending to myself and to people to whinge, but this is a more productive way of being negative, by getting it on paper, writing it, getting it out of your head, and then enabling you to focus on what's happening there. And by focusing on solutions, then you're activating, as we said before, your reticular activating system. And by doing that, then you're on the path of getting your subconscious to conspire, to work with you, to sort your problems out, to manifest solutions, and to create your future. And then the third thing to come out of this book, which is quite powerful, is the concept of motivation and how we motivate ourselves. Let's get a bit more of that sunrise happening. So the author says that in order to motivate yourself to your biggest goals, what you need to do is you need to start with small goals first and add charitable outcomes to that as well. Something else that I learned today, which was really, really powerful: if you've got debts, if you owe money, or if you owe favours to people around you, the author says here that you're best off starting with your small debts first and then working up. Because by starting with the easy ones first, you start building momentum, you start building confidence, and you build a head of steam, which then makes you feel good. And once you feel good, then you're more easily motivated to continue doing the things that you're doing, and then continuing along that path. Because each little win will unlock a psychological boost, the author suggests. It will unlock a psychological boost of energy, which you can then use to take on bigger things. How cool is that? So 3 big lessons from this book. The first one is how to unlock your reticular activating system by writing things down, by being specific. Then how to empty your head of problems and challenges by using the rapid writing technique, and emptying your head of your challenges and issues, and then being able to focus on solutions. And the third thing is how to motivate yourself by starting small, getting small wins, and as you get small wins, those small wins will kick off your pleasure hormones, the pleasure hormones, which will make you feel good. And by feeling good, then you'll have more energy and a greater desire to continue along your way to achieving your bigger goals. Anyway, there you go. Another beautiful day here at Bronte. A lovely sunrise, and I'll head down to the pool shortly. Let me just see if I can get to the pool. A pool view. I'll just go to the cliff edge here, and down there behind me you can see the pool just calling out my name. Dimitri, Dimitri, puise, ella, nasejaro. Anyway, I'll be down there shortly doing my my laps. So thank you very much everybody for joining me on Jim's 5 AM Club. And as I said, I've come across another source of free book summaries with hundreds of book summaries across many different topics. And I can't wait to spend hours and hours going through them, mulling over them, and delivering the gems that come out of these book summaries in the form of a Jim's 5 AM Club. So let's finish off with a positive affirmation. I'm alive, I am well, and I feel absolutely great. To my friends and family, stay connected, stay relevant, stay reasonable. And most importantly, let's take some of these lessons from this wonderful book and learn how to activate our reticular activating system by writing down our goals and being very specific, because clarity is power, or clarity is potential power. And once it's clear, once it's crystal clear, once you've been able to crystally clearly and unambiguously articulate something, then your reticular activating system will then scour the universe to make it happen, to manifest it for you. It will open your subconscious, which is 95% of everything that comes into your 95% of your brain or more, and it will pick up all the things that come through your senses which are relevant to achieving that particular goal. And as I said, it will be the starting point of manifesting your future and your reality. So write it down, be crystal clear. And the other thing that we also talked about is the importance of rapid writing. Write down all the negative things, all the things that are happening or you got on your mind, and that way you'll get it out of your mind instead of whinging and whining and carrying on and being a pain in the ass to all of those around you. Do it in a silent form through rapid writing. And the last thing of all is to start nailing your goals, small ones first, especially paying off your debts. For those who have come into the new year with a few debts, start paying off your small debts first, and by starting with your small ones, you'll make yourself feel better, you'll build momentum, and then you'll continue along your merry way, and before you know it, you'll have paid off all of those debts and be less stressed. Anyway, take care, yasas, and I'll come to you again tomorrow from a different location with a different message from Jim's 5 AM Club. Yasas, and let me give you another look at that beautiful sunrise, that East Coast cracker from Bronte, and I look forward to coming to you again with another message from another location, and wishing you all the very best on this wonderful Sunday. Yasas, bye from Jim's 5 AM Club, and we'll talk again. Ciao.